finds a jab that's doing the effect right now, or is having the effect.
And punch. But here's...
I've been to the Olympics with boxing. I've been to 5 different weight classes, and I fought the best in my era. The key punch in boxing is the jab.
Hold me back.
For his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford is not only trying out new training methods, but he's also brought a new coach into his team. The main focus is on specific workouts designed to help him manage his weight more effectively before stepping into the ring with Canelo. After a training session with Floyd Mayweather, Crawford and Mayweather had a sparring match, pushing each other to their limits in the ring.
And he did there, and Crawford was able to counterpunch.
Terence Crawford began a focused training camp right after recovering from an illness to get ready for his fight against Canelo Alvarez in September. While this is not new information, the undisputed world champion has already made great progress. He's exploring new training techniques and strategies to help him gain weight, ensuring that his smaller size won't be a disadvantage when he steps into the ring.
I think, I take more chances.
Excuse me, Crawford.
Right now, earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So,
As Crawford mentioned, he and Floyd Mayweather Jr. share a lot of similarities in their approach to boxing. However, fans and analysts often debate who is the better fighter between the two. In a recent discussion, a news source suggested that Crawford would likely come out on top in a fight between them, especially when it comes to pure boxing skills. While Mayweather is widely regarded as one of the best defensive fighters in the sport, the comparison between the two remains a hot topic.
Which Floyd Mayweather you talk about? Do you talk about money, or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy.
Mayweather was known for his exceptional ability to time his jabs perfectly and counter his opponents effectively. He was able to defeat many fighters using this skill, adapting and refining his approach over different stages of his career.
Reach from the left hooks again. The lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him, and then he hit his head off on this here at the engine.
As Crate mentioned, Pretty Boy Floyd was the more aggressive version of Mayweather, always bringing the fight to his opponents. Over time, Money Mayweather refined his approach, relying on great boxing skills to outsmart his opponents no matter what style they brought. Fans continue to marvel at what Crawford did to Errol Spence in his last fight. Whether it was his powerful jab that pierced through Spence's guard or his quick counterpunching, Crawford showed just how good he can be, especially against a fighter of Spence's caliber. When comparing pure boxing skills, it's tough to imagine anyone getting the upper hand on Mayweather. But Crawford's style is unique. It's explosive and effective in its own way. If these two were to face off in their primes, it would be an intriguing matchup. Who would land the first jab? Who would control the counterpunching? There are so many factors that it might be best to call this category a draw.
Spence builds everything behind that jab. We're going to see
How many times have we seen Mayweather lure his opponents to the center of the ring, where he would analyze them, process the information, and develop a strategy to break them down? Mayweather's ring IQ, combined with his hit and not get hit mantra, helped him carve out a Hall of Fame career as an undefeated 5-time world champion. On the other hand, Crawford has also demonstrated impressive ring intelligence throughout his career. After becoming undisputed champion at junior welterweight, and now at welterweight, he's proven his own high level of boxing skill. While Mayweather was known for his hand speed, especially when counterpunching, Crawford has his own advantage with his sharp angles and lightning-fast delivery. In terms of records, Mayweather retired with 50 wins, 27 of them by knockout. Crawford, on the other hand, has 40 wins, with 31 coming by knockout, and he's still actively fighting. Crawford's performance against Spence was nothing short of spectacular, as he dropped him 3 times on his way to a dominant 9th-round TKO. beating a powerful, body-punching fighter like Spence, who had previously broken down top fighters like Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Yordenis Ugas to become the unified world welterweight champion, was no easy feat. Yet Crawford made it look effortless, and his power was a major factor in that success. Meanwhile, Mayweather's defense, particularly with the Philly shell, is a textbook example of counter-punching mastery. By raising his shoulder and using his arm to absorb shots, he could block punches, while also using his free hand to deliver precise counterstrikes. It was defensive boxing at its best, counter-punching executed flawlessly.
That's unbelievable. For young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. You're where and then he's nowhere. You think you can. And again, it's not just hand.
Crawford certainly has impressive defensive skills, but Mayweather took defensive boxing to a whole new level, almost to perfection. So, how would a fight between a prime Mayweather and Crawford play out, and who would come out on top? After a cautious first round, where both fighters are testing each other, Crawford would likely take the initiative, being the more active and busier fighter early on. He'd land shots, even though many might be absorbed by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow guard. But as the fight moves into the middle rounds, Mayweather's style would start to dominate. He'd begin to pepper Crawford with jabs, winning rounds with his precise and defensive approach.
The way he rolls with punches, but the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Rip fight. Well, Mayweather. Oh, hey!
You notice, very, very rarely does he go up on the ropes because he knows.
With consistent pressure, Crawford's powerful punches could start to land on Mayweather, potentially even hurting him at times. Despite how close the fight would be, Crawford's fighting style and relentless punches might be enough to sway the judges, with his pressure and volume leading him to a points win over Mayweather's more tactical approach. Terence Crawford is highly regarded in the boxing world, known for his unmatched skills and unbeaten record. His success is a clear result of his dedicated training and strategic physical preparation. For his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez, Crawford's training regimen blends tough physical workouts with a solid mental approach, setting him apart in the sport. Crawford's daily training routine is a combination of activities designed to improve his boxing ability and keep him in peak condition. His workouts focus on building punch power and gaining the necessary weight for his fight with Canelo. A typical day in the gym includes circuit training with weights, strength and conditioning exercises to boost his speed and agility, core exercises, where his trainer, McIntyre, bounces a heavy medicine ball off Crawford's stomach while he does crunches, mountain runs, and swimming.
Prepares to fight teammates and keep looking at those weight divisions. Disregarding.
Terence Crawford is particularly fond of swimming as part of his cardio routine. He swims for about 30 minutes to an hour every evening, finding it to be easy on his joints while still offering a great cardiovascular workout. It helps with recovery and muscle regeneration. But since swimming isn't a natural activity for him, he has to work a little harder at it. Unlike running, it provides a different type of cardio, which Crawford believes helps him tremendously in building endurance. After swimming, Crawford shifts to his boxing training, where he's always focused on improving both his offensive and defensive skills. One of his standout qualities is his ability to switch seamlessly between different stances. Initially, his coaches encouraged him to stick to one stance, but they soon realized that training him in both stances would be more beneficial. This versatility is something Crawford continues to work on today. When preparing for a fight, boxers often spar with others to improve their skills. This was especially important for Crawford early in his career, where his talent impressed top fighters like Timothy Bradley. Today, Crawford is one of the best in the world, and other fighters come to him for sparring, but they don't usually win because of his superior skills. While Crawford is known for being dominant with his right hand, he's also incredibly effective when using his left. To develop punching power, Crawford trains with a heavy bag, just like any competitive boxer. The heavy bag helps him refine his technique while building strength in his shoulders. Watching Crawford in action, You can see him throwing quick combinations and powerful punches, varying his intensity throughout his workout. Sometimes he hits the bag softly, and other times he puts full force into his punches, getting the most out of his training. Terence Crawford has been training with his coaches for most of his life, and one of the key elements of his training involves working with his trainers on the pads. During these sessions, he doesn't focus on hitting hard or fast, but instead concentrates on different offensive and defensive techniques. These pad sessions allow him to fine-tune his skills and tactics, working on the perfect timing and movement. In addition to the pads, Crawford and his team use other tools to improve his accuracy and reaction time, such as reaction noodles and a punch shield. These help enhance his movement and help him stay sharp in the ring. Crawford is also an exceptional shadow boxer, showcasing some impressive skills. One of the things that sets him apart is his ability to remain calm and adjust to whatever happens during a fight. Whether it's an offensive or defensive move, he makes it look effortless. But Crawford's skill isn't just about technique. He's also known for his toughness. He frequently trains in tough conditions to push himself even harder. When he's not doing that, he uses 2 kilograms dumbbells to shadow box, which helps him build strength while keeping his speed and agility. This combination of strength and speed allows him to hit hard while staying quick on his feet. Crawford is always looking to improve his precision and timing. To work on these aspects, he uses a special training tool called a double end bag. This helps him practice his footwork and head movement, both of which are crucial for success in the ring. Crawford's trainer also incorporates sticks into his training to keep him on his toes. The idea is to surprise Crawford and force him to react quickly and defensively, adding a level of unpredictability to his preparation. When it comes to his nutrition, Crawford sticks to a diet that focuses on lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, and proper hydration. This ensures that he remains in peak condition throughout his training camp and recovers effectively. Crawford lets his coach handle all the food decisions, relying on his chef to prepare everything. As he mentioned in an interview with Muscle and Fitness, his chef works closely with his coach to make sure his meals are exactly what he needs. "I really don't think about the food. They cook it, and I eat it," he said. This allows him to stay focused entirely on his training without worrying about his diet.
405. There you go.
With his tactics for the opening 4 or 5 rounds and had success, but Mayweather's refusal to.
Mikey Garcia, the younger brother of Robert Garcia, who was named Trainer of the Year by Ring magazine, is one of the critics of the highly anticipated fight. Despite it being a fan-favorite matchup, Mikey Garcia isn't fully on board with the idea. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Garcia pointed out the significant weight difference between the two fighters, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. He also mentioned how Crawford struggled when he moved up in weight to face Jeff Horn, after stepping up from his usual weight classes. Garcia's concerns are rooted in the challenges Crawford might face when moving up yet another weight division to face Canelo.
Too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now,
Get tired.
To the rope before he can be effective.
Right. Land in short bursts and then go away.
Although Crawford is known for his exceptional skills, Mikey Garcia believes the size difference between the two fighters would be a major factor in a potential matchup. Garcia thinks Canelo's combination of speed and size would likely give him the upper hand. "That's why I'm not really a fan of this fight," Garcia said. Crawford has already done everything he needed to do in the 140 to 147 pound range, and now moving up to 154 would be even more challenging for him. Garcia also suggested that if Crawford truly wanted to test himself, he could aim for an undisputed title in his current weight class, though he admitted that there isn't as much money in that. While Garcia acknowledges that a fight between Crawford and Canelo would generate a lot of revenue, he doesn't support it. As a fan, Garcia would prefer to see Canelo face fighters within his own weight class, or even those in higher divisions, like Artur Beterbiev or a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. If Canelo really wants to challenge himself, he should move up to 175 pounds again and fight those top-tier fighters, not face a smaller guy moving up in weight, Garcia explained. As the much-anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez continues to spark excitement and debate within the boxing world, many professionals are weighing in. Crawford, known for his versatility and technical mastery, is aiming to take a daring step by moving up 2 weight classes to challenge the undisputed super middleweight champion. However, this move has sparked divided opinions among boxing experts.
Come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts.
Yeah.
I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size.
With his tactics for the opening 4 or 5 rounds and had success, but Mayweather's refusal to...
One prominent voice weighing in on the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is former heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder. In a recent interview, Wilder expressed concerns about Crawford's significant jump in weight from 147 pounds to 168 pounds. "That's way too much," Wilder said. "Even if you can switch from southpaw to orthodox, when you start facing heavier opponents, it feels completely different. It's like you're a baby in there. I'm not saying Crawford couldn't still knock someone out, but it takes time to adjust to that extra weight. The way punches land on you is much different when you're facing heavier opponents than when you're fighting smaller guys." Since Wilder's comments, Crawford has made strides in closing the weight gap by capturing the WBA super welterweight title. However, even with this victory, there's still a significant 14-pound difference between him and Canelo, which could play a critical role in the fight's outcome. Canelo, known for his unrelenting punching power and stamina, has firmly established himself as a dominant force in the super middleweight division. Despite suffering 2 career losses by decision, he has consistently proven his defense and resilience, cementing his status as one of the toughest fighters in the sport. This potential matchup is sure to be an electrifying spectacle, but for Crawford, it represents a massive challenge.
I'll be there. You know what I mean? That's going to be a good one. Both of them great guys. They got great talent. And both of them very determined. Got that killer instinct.
To succeed, Terence Crawford, the Omaha native, will need to demonstrate exceptional adaptability and resilience when facing an opponent of Canelo Alvarez's caliber in a higher weight class. While Deontay Wilder's concerns about the weight difference are valid, the excitement surrounding this fight is undeniable. Fans are eager to see 2 of boxing's top talents go head-to-head in a showdown full of contrasting styles and raw power. This clash has the potential to be one of the most thrilling events in the sport, with anticipation growing daily. It's also worth noting that Canelo Alvarez already has a guaranteed opponent for 2025, not for his May fight, but for his second fight of the year, which is set to take place in September, during Mexico's Independence Weekend in Las Vegas. After much negotiation, it seems that Terence Crawford, the undefeated American fighter, will be Canelo's opponent for this fight. However, making this match happen will come at a high cost for organizers. Canelo himself had previously stated that he would need a substantial sum to take the fight, and it looks like it's all falling into place. According to boxing insider Ray Jackson, Canelo Alvarez will receive a guaranteed $150 million for this fight, a figure he mentioned back in 2020. This payout would catapult Canelo back to the top of the highest-paid athletes list, from which he had dropped out in 2024. The potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford in September could become one of the most significant boxing events of the decade. As 2025 began, it brought a host of exciting developments for boxing fans, with numerous highly anticipated fights possibly coming to fruition. One of these is the potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford. The website Essentially Sports reported that Alec Turkey Alec has played a key role in making this fight a reality. Recently, Alec held a meeting with Canelo to discuss the business side of things. securing a multi-million-dollar purse to buy the rights to Canelo's upcoming bouts. The two sides allegedly reached an agreement to stage the fight against Crawford in mid-December, coinciding with Mexico's Independence Day celebrations. However, the biggest question surrounding this fight is not just the clash of styles, but the significant weight difference between the two fighters. Experts from the boxing world, including former world champions like Mike Tyson, have raised concerns about how Crawford, a southpaw from Alabama, will handle the 14-pound weight disparity between him and Canelo. Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas weighed in on the potential mega fight in an interview with Fight Hub TV, stating that it's hard to bet against Terence Crawford. Very few people have the appetite or aptitude for challenging themselves the way Crawford does. I'm never betting against that guy. Father Time might catch up with him, but I don't think a weight class can, Atlas said. The fight is certainly shaping up to be an unforgettable battle.
Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything's possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose.
This is a huge challenge because Canelo is a powerful and skilled fighter. He's bigger, stronger, and has the ability to land punches with perfect timing. But even though Crawford may be smaller, he's someone who can come up with a game plan that neutralizes his opponent's size advantage. McIntyre, speaking with Fight Hub TV, gave high praise to the undefeated Terence Crawford, who is linked to a potential fight against Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the skills to win a third undisputed title in another weight class. Any serious boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo, but you really have to understand the sport to appreciate that, as McIntyre mentioned. That's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, and events in the world of boxing, make sure to stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you're alerted when we post great content like this. Until next time, peace out.